12th at 6:30 p.m. here at the meeting room at Town Hall. Motion to open the meeting?
Motion to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are being audioed and videoed. Motion to accept the minutes from September 14th. Can you take a glance over them, see if everything looks okay? We covered almost all of this last meeting.
Right.
Okay, motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so minutes accepted. Okay, under new business, we do have all the new lights at the meeting house. They're all up and running. So that it's lit up, it's beautiful. I've driven out there a couple of times at night to make sure they're all working. So the grounds all around the building are all lit up now. No more complaints from the police department. It's lit up well.
That's 24 hours?
No, it goes on at dusk
That's the
till
dawn.
dawn.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, automatically. Under old business, we're still working on getting estimates for work at the church. And also we are having that new bench made for the well pump at Perry Hill Road and corner of Mendel Road. I dropped the bench off to Mark Garvin in Mattapoisett, and he was actually going to take a ride out there so he could see the layout before he cuts up the wood and makes the bench. So he will get working on that, and hopefully if we can get that area cleaned out by fall, that bench should go back up there. It'll be all done. Okay?
Now, when will that go before the selectmen?
What's that?
You'd like all members to be there.
Oh, all right. This is for the items going before CPC and town meeting.
Oh,
Okay? What I've asked for is to be put on the agenda of the selectmen's meeting at the end of this month, which I believe is the 26th. They're gonna have their meeting on Tuesday night. And I've asked to be put on the agenda so that we're gonna run the items by that are going to CPC. We're gonna take them to the selectmen first to see if they feel that it's worthwhile and if there's a chance. Because if the selectmen approve it, it is gonna be easier to try to get funding from CPC.
You know when what time is that scheduled for?
It'll be, I believe it's October 26th. I'm gonna call you and let you know, because
Okay.
it'll be a Tuesday night, and their meetings start at 4 though.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
gonna be the
problem.
problem for us.
That's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem for me too, because I don't get out of work until 4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Lisa to try to put us on the agenda later, it's a little bit later, because I'm gonna have a hard time making it myself. So, but I would like you guys to be there to kind of help me along,
We'll try humanly possible.
Unless just you go, and I stay behind, we'll see.
Okay, we'll try to work it out. Okay, right now we've got 3 items. The first item is the fencing at the museum, which is about 58 feet of fencing. That's number 1. The second one is the storm windows for the museum. That's number 2. The third one is going to be the article for the Perry Hill Church, completing the interior. And I have a price already. Got it from Steve Elias. He went in there with me, checked the whole building out, and he's going to try, he's broken it all down so that he's going to take care of everything. Like ordering the staging, covering the benches, putting the staging up, everything, sheetrock, fixing all the holes that are in the wall where they blew in the insulation. It's gonna need some carpentry work, which would be the 2 chimneys have to be boxed in. And then once the sheetrock's all up and they do the plastering and all that, The beams on the ceiling, I'm not sure if there's 2, 4 or 6 beams. They gotta be boxed in with wood to give that finished look. So he took care of itemizing every item all the way down and gave us one price to take to CPC. Okay, so those are the 3 items right now that we're working on. The 4th item, I haven't been able to get together with the guy to check out the underneath of the building to get that price.
Steve's done work for us.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He told me, he said, if I could afford to do this for nothing, I would do it for you, because he said, I love this building.
He passes it every time he goes home.
Yeah.
You know, so it means a lot to him too, you know. So anyways, that's where it goes. We are still making plaques for any home in Acushnet that's over 100 years old. Of course, we must have the date of the house was built and the owner that built it. And I still have a problem with the house on 10 Walden Lane, which this is a crazy story, because everybody thinks that house was built by Captain Joseph Weldon when he built the factory down Walden Lane. Okay, and I've been in touch with 2 elderly gentlemen that used to live here in Acushnet, and you might even recognize their names. Dan Tabor, lived up on Middle Road. His great-grandfather lived on Walden Lane years and years ago.
Okay.
Dan Tabor. And the other fella is Bob Harding. You know the Harding garage up on Main Street? I guess that's his nephew. Hardings. They were from Middle Road area.
How about, the Harding on Leonard Street? Any relation?
Harding's on... No, that's Scott Harding.
Scott, but his father. Bud.
Well, it could be.
Well, it could.
It could
Bud,
be.
We call him Bud.
Bud Harding.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just heard that name yesterday. Bud Harding. But this is Bob Harding, and he grew up on around the Middle Road area. And he told me the fella that runs is it Harding Way's garage, way out on Main Street near the old fire station? There's a little garage there next door to the fire station, going towards the museum.
East side.
Oh, the Station 2.
That's Harding's garage,
Yeah.
right next door. Well, he said that's his nephew. This
Okay,
Bob
so
Harding.
the Bud was his father. Scott runs it, right?
No, Scott had the farm on Leonard Street. Scott Harding.
Right, but he's also has that repair shop or garage next to the Station 2.
Scott Harding?
Yes.
No, not the Scott Harding
No.
she's thinking of. She's thinking of the one on Leonard Street.
The one that has the
Right.
cranberry box.
I thought that was the same person.
No,
Because
I think,
Bud was his father.
Who's the one that fixed the tractor? What's his name?
No, it's not Harding.
I don't, they might be related to Scott Harding, generations back.
Well,
I don't know.
if you talk to Scott, ask him. Because I see Scott every once in a while when I drive by at that,
At that station?
yeah.
He didn't even open up his market anymore. He's retired. He wanted to spend time with his grandkids.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see him there that often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, see, I didn't know that either. But these
Well,
two,
maybe I'm wrong, but you can ask him.
they're probably all part of the same family,
Mm.
you know? But anyways, these 2 elderly gentlemen, they're both in their upper 80s, and they know a lot about the history of Acushnet. Oh, my God. But they've told me, no, that house is not Captain Walden's house. That house was built around 1905, 1910. And the kids that bought it were thinking that it was built in the 1800s. No, it's not. So we're still doing research on it because they wanted a plaque, and I can't determine who actually built that house. So until I can determine who built the house and the year it was built, I can't have a plaque made.
Okay, talking about plaques, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm,
If someone has a house
mm-hmm,
and it's been remodeled, extensively remodeled,
Mm.
and added on to over the years. Is that still considered a historical house?
That's a tough question.
Because our original house was back, I want to say the early 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been at least 3 additions since then, so.
But any part of that house that you look at original,
Yes.
the front part of it, anything?
Well, the
The
upstairs,
third-
they
the
did
third-
like they did
third
here. They
floor and the
lifted it
second
up,
floor in the
built
front.
under it.
Okay, so they raised it up and put another floor.
Right.
Yep. Then,
And then they
then
put the
they
back
built
wing.
the,
But you still got part of the original house. The original
Oh,
house
yeah.
is still there.
oh yeah, when we remodeled, the original beams are there with the pegs in them and everything
And
else.
everything, see? So it still would be considered historic, you know? Because there's another one over here on Wing Road. It's in the history book, and I talked to the fella about it too, because that's a historic post. But it's had additions on the upper level there. It's got dormers, and I drove by there to actually take a look at it. And if you study the house, you can see the original part of it. It's like in the history book with the additions added. But it could have a plaque on it because it's still original, part of the original.
We've got pictures, one of the pictures goes back to the mid-1850s.
Wow.
And it was George Tabor back then, and then George Fuller bought it,
Mm-hmm.
and Bancroft Windsor bought it from him.
Oh, wow.
And he had it in the family for, I don't know, 60 years or so, and then we bought it.
So you have the original deed when the house was built?
No,
You don't have the original
no.
deed?
All we have is a couple of old pictures.
Pictures.
One, I'm guessing, is the mid-1800s,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is dated 1873 or something like that.
Now, is your house, the picture of it in the history book?
No.
No, it's not in there. So the only thing.
It mentions it as George Fuller's truck farm,
Oh, okay.
and he used to, truck, horse and cart to New Bedford to sell it, all the vegetables.
So the only thing you could do in a case like that is, at the registry of deeds, dig back the original
Right.
deeds.
You have to research it.
Yeah, I've got about 6 files right now to go back to the registry again and look for more information, because I never got them completed.
When I retire.
I'm not retired, and I'm still working, and then go crazy with all this stuff. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's the way it stands until I can get like the original year the house was built and who it was built by. I can't make a plaque.
Right.
So that's holding me up on this house on Woden Lane. So, one thing I just wanted to bring up, because I was talking to Eric about it, I would talk to John Howcroft on Sunday, and he says to me, I got something else for you to research. He's always telling me this, you know. I says, what? He said, did you know that we had a Cuban artist that lived here in Acushnet? Lived on Middle Road. And he said he was a very famous artist. So he couldn't remember his name because he was out there with his apples and everything, so he couldn't remember his name. So I went home and I Googled it on the computer. You would not believe the stuff I found out about this man.
What's his name?
Antonio Gattano, Gattorno. He lived on 118 Middle Road. So today when I went by, I found the house. I know the house that he lived in when he lived in Acushnet. He lived in Acushnet from 1940 and he passed away in 1980.
Oh.
And he married a Portuguese girl.
Come on.
Yep, married a Portuguese girl, and oh my gosh, the paperwork, you wouldn't believe what I got out of that computer on this gentleman. So he was a very famous artist. His paintings sold for big, big money. He had a couple that sold for between $100,000 and $200,000. And another thing I found out was Marion Antiques. sold a lot of his paintings. All that information was coming out of Google, by Google in his name. So I'm going to work on that project for a little while because John said he was a very well-known artist, did beautiful work, and lived in our town. And he's thinking about maybe doing something where I tried emailing his niece that lives in South Carolina, because she lived up here in near Acushnet and was very close to this uncle. And they've put a book together on him. So John was thinking that maybe we could get a hands on one of his paintings and have it either put in the library or maybe at the schools, and kind of promote him in his name where he lived in Acushnet.
Too bad Ray Whitaker wasn't living because
Yeah.
he was right off of Middle Road.
Right off
In
Middle
that
Road.
area.
Yeah. And he did some beautiful portraits. Beautiful portraits.
Could you spell the last name one more time?
Gattorno.
First name Anthony?
Antonio.
Thank you.
Antonio. Yeah. So I've emailed the niece and see if she contacts me back, telling her that through the Historical Commission, we'd like to do some research on him and kind of bring his name out in the town, because people don't know. I didn't know, had no clue. His name's not mentioned around. And I talked to the clerk's office today. They tell me he was buried here in Acushnet Cemetery, and I cannot find his name there. So tomorrow I'm going to stop at the office and check and see if he is definitely, because they told me the clerk's office shows that's where he's buried. So I'm going to try to find out, get some information from that. So that's another project we got going. But, so anything else under old business or new business that you'd like to bring up?
How are we doing with the Mendel Road and Perry Hill Road?
Yeah,
Landscaping.
I took the old part of the bench, what I had
No,
left.
not the bench, they actually
The
cleaning up
cleanup?
the shrubbery, yes.
They haven't done it yet. In fact, I'm gonna put a call into Jim because they were supposed to get that all sprayed down so that could die off, then clean it out for me. Yeah, but that Matt Garvin is working on the bench.
I have that,
Yeah.
I have that.
Okay, we are still looking for 3 new members on the Historical Commission. Would be nice to get a few more people involved if we could. We've got a lot of work going on. The windows have been ordered for the meeting house. Okay, he's got them on order. So as soon as they come in, he's gonna be working on that, get them up. So hopefully that'll be up before bad weather comes in. And that'll be done. And the lights are all set. I just had the lights at the museum. Some of the eyes, I guess you call it, had to be repaired or replaced. So I just had the electrician do that too at the museum, so all the lights are working again. It gets mighty dark over there at night. Mighty dark.
At the Perry Hill Church, remember how we get the little battery operated candles to the window?
Yes.
Anything with actually tying in full electric?
Let's put it this way.
No.
The electrician that we hired to do the wiring was Potter. And we paid him off for the work that he had done up to that point.
Okay.
The boxes are in, the wires are in the boxes,
Not gonna,
but nothing is hooked up. There is electric in the building, because there's a couple of outlets in there and you can use them. But there's no outlets on the walls or anything like that to plug into. So what I'm gonna try to do is get some, maybe bigger candles, because even the ones I had at the meeting house, they kept burning out, so they're no good. So maybe have to get some new ones this year and a little bit bigger ones so they show better.
I'll try researching that for you.
Good,
Because the other ones were too small, the light bulbs.
the bulbs are small.
I'll do
We
that.
need something with a bigger bulb.
I'll do that.
See what we can find on sale. Okay, So our next meeting, if we have a meeting in November, right now, I'm saying we'll probably have one in November, and then maybe cool it December and January when the bad weather comes in. So we're gonna go back to our third Tuesday of the month. How I messed that up, I'm not sure, but I think it was the virus that did it. Because
November what?
November 16th will be the next meeting. So that'll be the third Tuesday.
That doesn't work for us.
Mm. Okay, so anything else you want to discuss? We're working on things are coming along. Like I said, the windows are ordered. The next thing is to go before the selectmen and see what we can do with the CPC, and then town meeting will be in January. So, okay, if there's nothing else, then may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.